back here at the GSL Korea Heart of the Swarm Finals. So far, INnoVation looking invincible.
Indeed, he is tasteless. Maybe he should change his IND once again to invincible.
He looks absolutely unstoppable right now. Okay, so if you're just now tuned in, INnoVation up 3 games. Soulkey would have to win this game and the next 3 after that. Otherwise, INnoVation
That'd be pretty impressive to see anyone in the world
beat INnoVation 4 games in a row. Yeah,
especially after he's beat you 3 times in a row in all sorts of different games. That would be very impressive indeed. So
yeah,
I have a question for you.
Yes.
About the GSL and Codes and all that.
Ask away. Yes.
Okay. So next season, does INnoVation win again, or does Flash win because he's so angry that Soulkey made it look like he's not actually the best TvZ by practicing with him and then losing?
Right now, I feel like INnoVation could win this season and the next season. What about you?
I feel like if I'm Flash, right, and I'm the most legendary RTS player of all time, and I practiced that just a huge amount with Soulkey, and I went out and said that he's the best Zerg, and thought that he had a good chance of winning, and then he goes 0-4 against INnoVation, I would be so angry. I'd be like, people are gonna think that INnoVation's better than me, Flash. And so I'm thinking,
you know, right now, man. I mean, I've never seen somebody play so well. Each of the 3 games we've seen so far has been completely different. INnoVation's handled each one perfectly.
Well, all right, game 4. Is there cheese? If so, what side? We were actually joking during the break that INnoVation could walk over to Soulkey's booth and go up to his ear and be like, Soulkey, I'm going to double 12 racks you every game for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
First off, that would screw with his head, but he could probably do that. Like, could you imagine 4 of those in a row and not one picking up a win?
I was saying he could go in the booth with a butcher knife, put his hand on the table, and cut off his index finger.
The mouse index finger or the keyboard index finger?
Either one, both.
Whoa, the mouse one, that's crazy.
Leave these fingers in the booth there.
You watch,
go back
during
and
a
see
micro
INnoVation in his booth. The next game, he's turning gray, he's bleeding to death, he loses that game, and then comes back and wins the next one.
Soulkey, like, is microing frantically during a battle, then he looks down at the finger that's on his desk, and it's going crazy.
It's moving around like that?
Yeah.
Little creepy crawler like that?
That finger knows when to move, tasteless.
Oh, man. It is packed in here.
It certainly is. So many people have shown up today to see what should be one of our greatest finals. Now, it still can be, guys. It's not like Soulkey's playing like garbage. He's just, INnoVation is outplaying him right now.
Yeah.
Soulkey has a chance to come back. We've had several finals where it goes 3-0 in one favor, then goes to game 7.
That's absolutely true. So don't count Soulkey out just yet.
Yeah, he's going to have to go Super Saiyan level 4, though. He has no time to power up like Goku, man.
The funny thing is, yeah, Soulkey's not even playing poorly. It's just that INnoVation's so good, it looks like they're from different leagues.
It feels like it. INnoVation versus a Grandmaster.
Pretty much. Our map's going to be DF Atlas. Let's see if this is about to become the most one-sided GSL Codes Finals, or the beginning of an epic comeback where Soulkey could possibly win. It's on. Over here in the upper right, we have our Zerg player. He needs to come back. Can he do it? He is.
공진 스타즈 Soulkey.
Will he close this out and be the champion of the world right now? We're going to see soon. He is.
STX Soul INnoVation.
they're both sharing the right side of the map. A drone's already been sent out to scout and see if there's any proxy barracks. So far, it does not look like INnoVation is going to do that. Instead, INnoVation probably going to go for a fast expand up here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you have to figure here, Tasteless. Again, he could do a bunch of cheeses, but you know what? If he just plays his complete standard play for 4 games, I mean, again, he's lost a total of 3 TvZs in Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah.
It seems an impossible feat for someone to 4-0 him right now.
Command center first, it can be risky, but you might as well take a risk when you're this far ahead.
Yeah.
Soulkey not able to punish this in any way. Soulkey may end up taking a 3rd hatchery before pool.
You know what? That would be actually really great to see, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. He's actually throwing down that spawning pool. So I wonder if that means something here. Does that mean that he wants to get more aggressive early on? Maybe he's just more comfortable with this build. You don't want to switch things up on the fly.
You know, I got to say, if he does go for a hyper-aggressive build and fails, that would be a pretty pitiful way to go out.
It would be a little bit sad.
Talk about not ending with a bang, but a whimper.
But how about this? How about this? You do an aggressive build because you're a little bit stressed out and you don't feel like you can beat him in macro right now. You need to build some confidence. So it might be a good risk to take here, just so that you can pick up an easy win and be like, okay, he's not unbeatable. I can do this.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there, Artosis. Anything he does that can help him win, he's got to utilize right now.
Yeah.
He is in the hardest position any pro gamer in the entire world could be in right now.
Playing against INnoVation.
Oh, she stayed one more day in Korea for this. Excellent.
Sick.
She made the right choice.
Indeed.
Hopefully
anyone who's not watching this should regret it. That's true. Well, you know what, Tasteless, even if Soulkey loses this, it does not change the fact that he really is the best Zerg in the world right now. Like, he has been playing some brilliant StarCraft.
By the way, guys, don't forget to check out the WCS Season 1 global broadcast. You can see more information on that at the bottom of our screen.
Yep. You can go to the Gangnam studio for it if you like.
And we'll be hosting there. It'll be broadcasted in the studio, like, as in you can be down there and actually hear us commentating.
Yeah,
so
and it'll all be on our
that'll
big
be
screen.
kind of fun. We haven't done that ever at GOM.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of neat.
That's going to be super cool. So, going on into this game, you know, for the time being, I think we're both on the same page, Artos, we're probably going to see some kind of aggression here from the Zerg.
Yeah, I think so. From INnoVation, it's looking like, yeah, the 3rd command center build. This is what I thought he was going to do a little bit earlier on. This is more standard INnoVation than Hellbat drops.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's already done Hellbat drops 2 builds, even though one he didn't get there because Soulkey all in. But this is a really solid opener. It's pretty safe against pretty much everything, as long as he gets his Hellions around and finds out what's going on. And it's extremely economical. So it's a good choice by INnoVation here. Soulkey is going to have to pull something special out.
INnoVation continuing to mass up. It does look like Soulkey's just now taking his 3rd base. Ling speed is on the way. And a very well-positioned Overlord there is going to allow him to see everything that's coming outside of his opponent's base.
Yep. Couple evolution chambers going down before the engineering base, so that's good. At least Soulkey can have an early upgrade advantage. But again, you know, he's playing against INnoVation with what INnoVation standardly does most of the time. You know, this is this is INnoVation's bread and butter right here. The standard solid macro play.
Yeah, there's not a lot of trickery to it, really. I mean, he just does not miss a beat, does not make a mistake, and when he engages, he controls perfectly. I mean, how do you counter that? I don't know that you really can.
Yeah, it's like magnets. You just can't explain it, Tasteless. There's no way.
It's true. As you can see here, wow, that's some interesting stats there for Soulkey. Able to just jam out those creep tumors.
Yeah, that is kind of I've never seen that.
I've never seen a stat like that before.
I don't know if that's good or bad, guys. I guess it seems impressive. But
I guess if it's Soulkey, the stat's probably pretty impressive. So.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So, Hellions are going to come up here now. He does have the evolution chamber wall up in here. I don't believe he'll go all the way, but we'll see.
So, he has got his very standard 6 Hellions out. This is the completely normal INnoVation type build.
Yep. He's going to come over here and try to get the 3rd here. There are a few drones that can be taken out.
Some nice zoning with those queens, pushing them back.
Yeah, really nice zoning.
Baneling Nest and Roachhorn both timed up to finish with the layers. So I think we're going to see double speed upgrades here, Tasteless, and we could be seeing a 1-1 Speed Bane, Speed Roach all in.
I got to agree with you on the 1-1 Speed Bane all in. It looks like he's setting up for that. And that could be something that would be very hard for INnoVation to stop. This game does not necessarily have to look like the Whirlwind game.
Yeah.
Well,
look, when it's 1-1 Speed Bane, Speed Roach, you only have to do a certain amount of damage. Like, he's got 3 bases, his economy's going to be fine.
Yeah.
This is not like that game where it was just a Baneling bust on regular hatchery tech. This is a much higher tech build, and having Baneling speed just makes you kind of safe anyways.
All right, it looks like, again, they continue to mass up, and it looks like we had an attack over here. He did get this Overlord, and we'll clean that up very nicely. And at this point in time, INnoVation's pretty much set up all the pieces to begin his war machine. He's going to be cranking out a lot of Marines, Widow Mines here, getting the upgrades here. Medivacs are going to come into play. You get about 4 Medivacs, and Terran could push out and do a lot of damage.
Now, he is making a couple Overseers, a few Banelings on the way. Is he going to have a huge plume of Roaches and Zerglings, though? And there you go, 18 Roaches. Holy God, that is a lot of Roaches on the way.
This is a lot of damage. INnoVation has to catch this and catch it soon. He needs additional bunkers behind the initial bunker over there at his entrance.
This has a very good chance of working right now, Tasteless. There's no siege tanks. And as you said, there's not enough bunkers. And with that 3rd base over there, this should deal a lot of damage.
All right, he's also moving out here with the Marines. This could be a pretty big folly right now, as this army can be caught off guard, scanning and not getting any critical intel.
Wow, you're right. That is no intel right there. But here come the... Oh, he knows now. Trying to target down some Banelings.
Nice zoning out, though, with the Roaches continuing to spill forward here. He's going to have a very nice spread right now with these Marines.
Yeah, and here we go, Stim Sum on the high ground, but can he hold on here? There are so many Speed Banes rolling right through that wall in, and here come the Roaches.
The Banelings now coming down and going for the SCVs! And whipping it, completely whipping it.
Well, looks like he wants to save these Banelings to go up that ramp. Kills the reactor and the supply depots and moves back with the Roaches. Doesn't want to overcommit them right now while he has more Speed Banes and the Speedlings on the way.
16 more Speed Banes on the way. It looks like he's going to have to rescue these SCVs with the Medivacs here. He does just that and goes back now to his main with them. The Roach is doing a lot of damage. A lot of Banelings, though, about to finish here. This could be a really bad situation here for INnoVation.
Yeah, but he is really on top of his defense, considering a nice bait there. And here we go. The Speed Banes coming up the ramp. How good is your micro INnoVation?
INnoVation so far with virtually perfect control, but there may be too many Roaches here.
That's right, those Marauders taking a lot of Baneling hits, but it looks like Soulkey, he has too much, Tasteless.
He may have overrun INnoVation here. The audience is going wild right now, and I think that is the tipping point, Artosis. We should be having GG very soon here.
And here we go, that's it, GG! Soulkey showing that he does have what it takes to knock down INnoVation.
Can he come back? If he wins the next 3 games, he will have done it. He will have made the biggest comeback in GSL Code S history.
Yes, that I would say that would be the biggest comeback, and we had some epic comebacks, but to come back against INnoVation, that seems like he's on a completely different level from anyone else ever, would be a whole nother thing.
This really is some impressive stuff. INnoVation, doesn't seem to be too caught off guard by that. Yeah. He obviously has a lot of wiggle room right now.
He's like, all right, well, I would have liked a 4-0. I guess it's okay because I predicted a 4-1 or 2.
All right, the coach going in there advising Soulkey briefly and then exiting, letting him go over in his own thoughts, what he's going to do here in game, game number 5.
There's only a certain amount you can actually coach a player in this situation. You know, anything you say here is almost going to sound trite, in my opinion. The Soulkey knows. He knows. He lost 3 games. He feels bad about it. He's angry at himself. What he needs to do is fix his own mind here and end up pushing through.
Well, as you can see, some Soulkey support there. Now, I don't know what he's going to do in the next game, because I'll tell you one thing for sure, Artosis. Soulkey can't do a whole bunch of Baneling Roach timings and beat INnoVation the next 3 games.
Yeah.
Not going to work.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You know, that's a good one right there. timing everything out. He has a good economy. He has a lot of gas. He gets the Baneling speed. He has 1-1. It's something that you can transition out of a lot easier than other all-ins.
Yeah, it's not an end-of-the-world scenario if it doesn't
Yeah, like, you only need to deal a certain amount of damage.
For SCs, too.
Yeah. So, something like that definitely could be used again. He's got to be very careful, though, if he chooses any super all-ins, because if those get scouted, the series is over and he goes home in second place.
Now, do you think there's a chance that INnoVation will try some kind of cheese here? Because I think there is, in fact. I think we could see some kind of all-in here. INnoVation, again, still has room to experiment right now.
I believe Soulkey has been drone scouting basically every game, so we could see an all-in. I'm not completely sure that we will. If he does an all-in, I'd like to see it be a 2-base, something like Marauder Hellbat type of all-in, as opposed to a double proxy Rax.
Okay.
I think that might catch
like
a
that a
little
lot.
off guard.
Yeah. All right, well, we are so close to starting this game now. Both players requesting that we get this going, so it looks like we will very soon. And get ready, because we are very close to crowning the champion of the GSL Code S, the first Heart of the Swarm GSL Code S that will set the tone here for esports history.